JKB back with another episode. Today I'm going to be talking about my most anticipated games of the year. So thanks for watching. Let's get right into it. Love you lots. First game on the list, Resident Evil 7. Now, I played the Kitchen demo, which is a VR demo for PlayStation VR years ago. At that point in time, we didn't know that it was actually connected to Resident Evil 7. I thought it was just a simple demo to show what VR could do in the world of survival horror. Now we're getting a full-fledged Resident Evil game set within that Kitchen demo, or vice versa. Now that we know the Kitchen demo is actually part of the main game, that excited me because the VR demo was incredible. The game itself, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't play the demo on purpose because I want to go in there with fresh eyes. I didn't watch anything on the game. I know nothing about it. I'm super excited because it has switched up the formula of Resident Evil. Some characters might return. I did read a little bit news on it, and I did see that there were cameos from some of the characters from the series. And if you're a huge Resident Evil fan, this is a big deal. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be getting it from A&C Games to review. Hope you guys stay tuned for that review. What's next? Next up on the list, For Honor. Now, let me tell you a little story quickly here. I went to Montreal to play For Honor, got some exclusive gameplay. You can check it out on my channel if you search it. For Honor is just incredible. A game of chess with major characters with different abilities on each of them, different play styles. That's something that I really crave in a video game. I don't want to go into a multiplayer game, say Battlefield 1, and you know, it's essentially shooting, first-person shooting, boom, 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 boom. This is a bit more varied because of the... Obviously, you're playing as a Viking or a ninja or whatever it may be in the game, but they have different abilities based on class and based on the weapons you're holding and based on the characters you choose. And the animation, I'll say this right now, and I don't care what anyone says, the animation in For Honor is some of the best animation I've ever seen in a game, period. I'll say it in Ubisoft's games. This blows it out of the water. I mean, I thought Assassin's Creed was getting very fluid, very smooth, but this is next level shit. And even the dev at the office said, you know, listen, did you enjoy it? And I said, I love For Honor. And I said, so many games are gonna rip off this gameplay, and I'm not gonna give anything away to you guys because I want you to experience it, and I'm gonna review it when it comes out. But there's something about that game, and I said, so many studios are gonna rip it off. And he said, you know what, good luck, and then he explained how they did it. And you guys that are into Dark Souls plus Battlefield, put those things together and you've got something super special here, especially if you're into multiplayer. Big game coming out in March, I believe, and I'll be reviewing it on the show. Next up is a little game called Horizon Zero Dawn. This is a game that takes the elements of just amazing sci-fi. Just... the imagination's incredible in this game. It feels like it's set in, you know, cities are destroyed, or maybe it's in the past or the future, I'm not sure, but gigantic android dinosaurs are walking around. You have all these tools to take them down and steal their energy, and everything I've seen about this game, this feels like a next-gen game. And I know I say that a lot on the show, you know, this feels like next-gen, or this might be next-gen, or we're waiting for the next-gen experience. This might be that game. So I think a lot of you are super excited about this as well. Next up on the list is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands. This looks like the Division that we didn't get. A lot of the elements of this game seem to be almost ripped out of that game. Like they took them out at the last moment and said, let's put it into Wildlands. This is a game about being an FBI agent undercover. Sometimes you're part of your team. It's a huge multiplayer game. Like it looks like they've taken Splinter Cell, mixed Division, put it all into a blender in Mexico, and all over the place with drug lords and just missions that seem like they're fucking badass. And some of the wild shit that can take place in this game, I'm not going to talk about it yet, but I'll be reviewing this as well, so I hope you guys are excited for that. I am super excited for Wildlands based on the E3 trailer alone. Next up is Mass Effect Andromeda. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. My buddy Mark Meir, I'm pretty sure, has probably done a little bit of voice work for the new Mass Effect. Not as Commander Shepard, of course, but as some of the aliens, because he played a lot of them in the past. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Flat out honest with you, I'm not impressed with any of the footage or anything I've seen based on what they've shown. I mean, I'm just not excited about it. I don't feel like it's fresh and new. It's kind of like, let's play in that world. Here's another version of the game, to me personally. And in the past, I think I've been more right about these things than wrong. Definitely, you could tell just something doesn't feel as, I don't know what it is. Let me know in the comments below if you feel this way about Mass Effect. Has it run its course? Like, do we need the shepherds in there to really enjoy this? Like, let me know, how open are you to a new Mass Effect world? Next up is a game that I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda, is a game that I'm super excited about. It's definitely one of my most anticipated games, but I gotta be honest, there's just something about this that's just missing, and I know what it is. They haven't shown everything. They haven't shown some of the secrets of this game. They haven't shown the sort of world environment interaction with creatures and wildlife and all of that stuff. We haven't seen too much of it. We've seen what they've wanted to show us, and next week, Friday coming up, we're going to see a lot more of it. I think they're finally going to show some of the towns, some of the story, because we haven't seen any of that. Once I see that, I'll be a little bit more calm about the game. So Legend of Zelda definitely on this list. Next up is a game that might split the audience down the middle, and this is God of War, which is really a remake of the whole series, a reboot, I should say. Kratos has a new voice actor, and I think a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that. I haven't seen that many people make a big hoopla about it, but you play as Kratos again. Once again, you're fighting in mythology that I don't even know anything about, and you have his kid. He's got a kid that he's dragging around. I'm sure he's going to be training this kid. We don't know too much about the game. We know that it's coming very soon. I don't even know the release date. I just wanted to include it in here because it's one of my most anticipated games. Are you excited about the new God of War? Let me know in the comments below. Next up is a game that I know little to nothing about, and I know it's a reboot of a series that got canceled, and it's known as Prey. This is a game that just came out of left field for a lot of people. The trailer at E3 was spectacular. It kind of reminded me of Aliens and some sort of sci-fi world that I definitely wanted to be part of. And I've seen some of the abilities in this game, some of the weapons, and it blows my mind. So I'm super excited about Prey. I don't know too much about it, but I had to add it to the list. Next up is Crackdown 3. This is a game that is hyping up real-world destruction on a massive scale. We've seen some demos. We saw it kind of disappear from the map, and that's on purpose because it's going to be a big play for Scorpio this holiday season. This Christmas, we're going to get a new Xbox. I hope that this all comes together, and Crackdown 3 could be the flagship title that this system needs to show the power of what the system can do. Could the Xbox One handle Crackdown 3? It probably can, but they probably want to show it off on a system that is apparently ridiculous. So how do you feel about Crackdown 3 getting delayed all the way until next Christmas? Or I should say this Christmas. Let me know in the comments below. Next up is Sea of Thieves. This is a game that Johnny Millennium from Happy Console Gamer and I have kind of talked about here and there. It's one of those games where you know nothing really about it. We know it's a multiplayer game. It's going into beta soon, and a lot of people are going to be playing this game because, from what I hear, it's a super, super fun multiplayer game, giving you simple mundane tasks as getting the ship prepared, loading up the cannonballs, all sorts of silliness. When I first saw it at E3, to be honest, guys, I thought, what the fuck are they doing? A pirate game? This is horrendous. Then I talked to some people that have played it, and apparently it's massive, massive, rare fun at its roots, and it's going back to its roots. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though Rare has dropped the ball since the classic 64 days, since, let's be honest, since Microsoft purchased them. But this is a game I really, really, really can't wait to play. Next up on the list, before I get to my most anticipated game of this year, has to be the Nintendo Switch. I have to talk about that. And obviously, we don't know nothing about like Mario Kart 8 Switch, or we know a little bit about Legend of Zelda, but we don't know anything about that Mario game. That Mario game has the potential to awaken an inner child in me that loves eating peanut butter and banana sandwiches and just playing the Mario 64 game after school, or even skipping school and just going to Toys R Us to play it. Wow, Switch is just around the corner this coming week. we're getting a new system, guys. It's always exciting getting a new system, but it's terrifying because it could be another Nintendo fucking shit show. Please, God, Nintendo, this is it for me. If you fuck this up, I swear I'm done. I'm fucking done. Please do something here that just captures my heart again. Do something. You have all the fucking money to do it. Please don't fuck it up. Last but not least is probably the most anticipated game for a lot of people of all time. This is a little game called Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I knew about this game a long time ago. Not to get into details, but I knew this was happening years ago. And obviously I'm not going to go public and be like, I know everything about this thing, because I don't know jack shit about it. All I know is that they're working on this game for quite some time, and it was coming, and the announcement was coming. It was like the biggest epic fail of a secret of all time for the gaming media. So to give you a little behind the scenes thing here, everybody in the gaming media knew this game was coming, but out of respect, we didn't say anything. Once they finally said, here it is, here it's coming, man, can you imagine what they can do with this game? A next generation designed game set in the Red Dead Redemption world. I mean, the things they could do. I don't even want to speculate. I don't even want to get into details on this because it's a video in its own right. So thank you so much for watching this. I want to ask you guys before I go, what's your most anticipated game of the year? Let me know if I left anything off of this list that I should have talked about, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of JKB. Thank you. Love you a long time.